Alright, on this episode we're going to do a few little things on the Landy. We're going to get the reverse lights going, we're going to put the floor back in, we're going to put the dash in, we're going to put an electric thermo fan on this instead of the little 186 one. It just doesn't seem to be holding up to the job. And yeah, plumb up the heater and we'll see how we go with all this. So might even clean out the tray and get that ready to be cleaned up. So let's get cracking into this and we'll see. So we'll start with the reverse lights and the brake light and everything like that, and we'll see what the story is there. And then we'll work our way down the list from there.
So don't just let me get it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm the one to get it, bruh. I swear to God I'll get it, bruh. Hey, I ain't never giving up. Yeah, I never give up. I got this, man, I got it. I will not quit, I'm on it. Never rock it. Got the block lit, I'm toxic. Spitting logic.
Alright, so I pretty much got everything out that we need. Bit of rag, the dash, the thermo fan, the electric thermo fan and wiring to go in. Then I've got some pipe to go into the black grommets that'll go up to the dash, and then some 2-core wiring, terminals and all that to try and splice in these reverse lights. Now from what I've found here is that's a power, it's live, and this one goes to the reverse lights. Now I've tried hooking them together. I have had these running and they were working in the back, but for some reason they're not now. I'm assuming it's because it's got 40,000 joiners in it. And then if you have a look, there's a bit of wire that comes out of here, squiggles all the way around and all that, and then it just comes out here to the power there. So I'll probably just chop that off inside and I'll run a red positive out and through and everything like that. And then once I've got all that sorted, I can put the air cleaner back in and I'll plumb that back up. So all right, I'll try and get into this and see what I find. All right, so I've just confirmed. So first off the list is the reverse lights. I ran the power through. I found the wire for down the back, and then when I tested it, I didn't actually have reverse lights. I didn't know what was going on, but now that I've jerry-rigged it, I've got both reverse lights. I don't know if you can quite see that, but I did have to put new earths in. So you can see I've just put a terminal on that and brought it down to the bodywork, and I've taken the wiring back down to the bottom of the chassis. There is one connection underneath that I will solder up, and yeah, so now all we got to do is just wire it up to the little brass reverse switch there that I bought because it didn't have one for some reason. Old matey had jerry-rigged it to in the floor. There's a little gap there you can see. So now I'll run some 2-core and some power to that switch, and then we can start trying to see if we can get this to work properly like it should. So here we go. All right, so I've brought the reverse light wire down from the engine bay. As you can see, here's a positive in red, so it's better. Running from the fuse panel here, as you can see, goes up through the firewall, then it comes back down and around and down under here. So now I'll terminalize them, put them onto the reverse switch there. I've already adjusted it and everything, so when it does go into reverse, it engages. And yeah, then after that we will start on the brake lights. So I'll quickly wire that in, we'll give it a test and see what it does. All right, got it wired up to the switch. So we'll I'll set these up at the back of the car and we'll see if we can get these to go on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off, and then we can tick that one off the list and start on the rest of them. So here we go. Very good. Alright, so that's the reverse lights done. We'll cross them off. Brake lights. Now, I see that these go down to the brake light switch, so I'm going to see if there's a positive there. And then the whole car's just filled with these connections. So if there is a positive, I might just try and solder these together, like solder them instead of using these things. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'll test these for a power and we'll see. I'm going to try not to bore you guys with time lapses, so I'll give you the heads up on what I'm doing. I'll do them and then we will get onto it. Might be a bit quicker that way. All right, so with the new earths in the rear, hopefully it's just these connections, because it looks like a pain in the ass to change. And not only that, I don't have one, so I'd have to order one and wait, as always. All right, I'll test these and we'll see where we're at. All right, so I just cut the wires. It was easier. I'm gonna have to cut them anyways to put to solder them up properly, get rid of those dodgy connections. So what I'll do is I'll add my little fused power wire in and I'll run it on there and we'll see if we can get brake lights happening. And then we'll test the other one for power. And if we do, then we'll solder in that brake light switch and we will see where we're at, see how we're happening. All right, so I'll do that now and we'll run a quick test. All right, got my fused wire jammed in there. I've got it hooked onto one of the wires, and now we'll just go around the back and we will check, see if this is all happening. Oh yeah, we've got a light that's on. And the other side too. All right, so now all I gotta do is just test the other wire for power now. And if we get power, we will be home and hosed. Hopefully, as long as the brake light switch is good, of course. All right, so we know that one there is the lights. So now we just got to see if this one here has power. So I've got my test light connected already. And there doesn't seem to be. Maybe it needs a key on. Let's have a look. All right, keys on. Don't know if you can see the light there, but oh yeah. All right, so there's power there. So now I might just solder these up to the brake light switch, or I might even just splice them and we'll just join them first and see if we get brake lights, and then if we do, I'll solder them. So I'll give this a go and we'll see what happens. All right, I'll go hit the pedal and we'll see what this does. See if we get some brake lights. Not that you'll see it. All right, so as you can see, they work. I've got the test light on here. I've got the brake pedal pushed in, so the switch is on. And when you come around to the back here, it's nice and lit up. Same with the other side. I'm trying not to reveal too much here because there's a car in the front that I don't want you to see yet. But anyways, we got the brake lights going. Time for the indicators. Now I've noticed that these look like earth straps and they don't have screws in them. And I've noticed that both sides have them missing. So I will put them in and we will see what happens there. And hopefully we get indicators in the rear. Alright, so these lights are killing me. I've been on these all day now. So the indicators aren't working, as you've seen. But I did find that this green and yellow here is the left hand, and this green and red here is the right hand. So I'll try and find these in the engine bay. They've got power going to them here, so it's not the switch, but I'll try and find these in the engine bay, see if we've got power past the plug, and then I will trace it from there on and see what we got. But there's just so many little chops and splices. Like, look at all these little scotch locks, the, you know, push and pull jobbies. Like, it's ridiculous. And look at all that. Like, I don't even know where to start. But anyways, I'll trace that into the engine bay. I'll see if I can get power to the rear, and we will see what happens. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll have indicators. God, I look homeless. But yeah, alright, so I'll do that, and then we'll see if we can get these indicators working in the rear. Alright, so I didn't want to bore you with trying to chase wires and stuff like that, so in the end, I just cut the Scotch locks out of the wires there, as you can see. I've got brake lights and everything like that. I even noticed that there wasn't park lights on this in the rear, but I've got the park lights now. They're all working. So now that that's done, I'll get on with putting the dashboard in, and yeah, we'll start getting that in, and then we can start on the fan and heater in the engine bay, and we'll see how we go with that. So I want to take the little itty bitty fan off. It's crap. And I'll put a electric fan on, and I'll run it constant like I always do with all my cars. So all right, I'll get the dashboard inside, and we'll get cracking on with this. All right, so I've got the dash together. I've got the tubes in, so I saved myself some money. I'm just using 40mm PVC. For a heater, it won't be too bad. Just the rubber grommets inside were $30 a piece. So these hoses here were like another $30 a piece, and I couldn't justify that. So I've made my own little DIY version of it. The truck's not original anyways. It's got a Holden 186 and that in it, so who cares? We'll resto mod this bad boy, and then we'll get it on the road. So we'll get this fitted, and then I've got to put the black plate on there. I've got to make another one and cut out the slot here, and then we will start putting the inside all back together. Alright, so I've got the dash back in. As you've seen on the time lapse, I've got to fix the cluster. I still got some wiring to sort out behind there, clean all this up, the fuses and everything. As you can see, there's some corrosion in that, but I'll do that off camera. I'll put that vent back on, but I've got to cut the other one out that's over there. And then I've got the controls for the wiring here, along with the switches, which I've got to clean up, lubricate, and put back in. So I'll do that. And yeah, so far, all we've got to do now is the thermofan and the heater pipes, and that is that list done. Although I did realise that there is no washer jets in this, so I'm going to have to get them done for registration purposes. So yeah, alright, we'll start wiring up the thermofan. Alright, so I've got the fan, I've got the wiring. You can see the little itty bitty mechanical fan there, so I'll be pulling that off and putting the nuts and bolts back in so the belt still runs true on the water pump. I'm probably going to put the relay down here somewhere, and I'll run that earth to it. I don't know what it's for, but I'll get that done. And then once I do that, you will be back and we will start putting the fan on with that installation kit, and we'll wire it up and we'll see how we go. Get this thing to bark off. Alright, so I've got the fan in. I had to take the radiator out to do that, so while it was out I flushed it, cleaned it all up, as you can see. Got a nice new smicky job on it, so cleaned it up, painted it up, put the fan on, everything like that. I've added a coolant overflow. I know these never had them, but I put that in anyways. It is the one off the original Carla build, the very first overflow tank I ever had, so that came into use here. Never get rid of your alloy tanks. So, alright, so clean that up. All the hoses are on. I flushed the engine, flushed the radiator. It does have a water degreaser mix in there at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll wire this fan up to run constant, and I'll let it do a heat cycle. I've got the relay tucked down here, as you can see. All the headlight wiring. Down here I've got the wires that come out of the relay, the wires that come out of the fan, and that I've already plumbed in the switching power to the to the coil, sorry. So that'll come down all the way down along here, and just into that. We've got the battery positive, so now it'll just be a quick little time lapse of me wiring this up and then wiring that up, and then we will test and see which way we can get the fan to blow and go from there. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so I've got them just tied up together. I'm just gonna get Ned off the stand. So I've got them tied together. I'm just gonna start it up and we'll see what way that fan runs and then see if we're in the right way. So I just put blue to blue, black to black, but doesn't necessarily mean it's right, because I might need it to spin the opposite way, because I wanted to push air through the radiator, not pull it out. So we'll see how we go. Alright, so it's not even running. I got a feeling this is an error. not very good wire. We want those two around the other way. So we want the blue on the black and the black on the blue. Alright, so I'll turn it off, we'll wire it up that way solidly, and we'll see how we go for airflow. Alright, so I've changed the terminals around, I've added an earth and brought it up to the top. So we'll try this. Hopefully it's pushing air through the radiator that way into the engine bay, and we'll see how we go now. Very good. I'll call that a win. Alright, so the fan's on and running. Everything seems to be going well. We've done all the thing. The only thing left to do is the heater pipes. But we've come up to the 20 minutes for this episode, so I might just do them off camera. And then next Land Rover episode, we will get the washer bottle going and put some jets in the hood. Looks like there was a hole for them there, so we'll do that. It needs new headlights, so I will buy them and we'll put them in. I'll get rid of this bar off camera, and we will get rid of this bull bar, paint up the front bar. I might even buy some spotties for it. And yeah, and then we'll have a quick wander over it, see what it needs for registration, service it, and I'll get some more bits for inside, and we will see if we can get this thing registered soon. So there's a bit of wiring inside. That light will go. I've got to fix up the interior light and stuff like that. But yeah, so anyways, probably hasn't been the greatest episode that I've made, but I mean, these are the little things we got to do on this car. So yeah, I got to order some parts. Hope you enjoyed it anyways. I do have a reveal coming up. I've got another car that'll be in the next episode. So yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.